Good Man Stuff Monday to you. Today, one of the things I want to talk to you about in man habit number 2 is writing stuff down. A wise man once told me, the older you get, the worse your memory works and the better your forgettery works. A while back I read a study, remember that reading thing we talked about last time? I read a study about some of the indicators of success. And one of the primary indicators of success is people who write things down in the morning. Get up, make your to-do list, and start working on things. So you know what? If you don't make a to-do list, your day just sort of happens to you instead of you taking charge of your day and happening to it. So I encourage you to incorporate a to-do list into your life where you just begin writing down the things you've got to accomplish that day, whether it's projects at home or whether it's things at work or various things of that nature. Write down a to-do list. I also encourage you, when it comes to your honey-do list from your wife, get her to write that down. Because here's the deal. If she's got it all in her head and she's just going to feed it to you as she sees fit, the problem with that is it messes with your expectations. You'll think, all right, I've just got these 3 things she's mentioned to me and I'm going to knock them out. And then all of a sudden she works out number 4, number 5, and you're like, oh. Also, if she writes it down, you can look at the list, prioritize, because you might, if it's a honey-do list for you, you know what you can do faster, quicker, and more readily. Another type of to-do list. I keep a digital to-do list on my MacBook so that I can just get on there and write stuff down. And let's take a look at it. All right, come right over here on the document where it says to do. You see where I've got my to-do list, and here's what I do with my to-do list. I type stuff down, and as I do it, for instance, shoot man stuff Monday. I've done that one, so we highlight it. Let's say you did something that wasn't on your list. Type it down. Then highlight it. Because at the end of the day, you want to be able to go back and look at your progress and see what you did today. Another part of the man habit of writing stuff down is this: journaling. Now you may say to me, modern mountain man, isn't that journaling stuff kind of girly? I tell you right now, some of the most famous men in history, the reason why we know about them and what they accomplished is because they journaled. They wrote stuff down so that you and I would have a roadmap. One of my favorite books on masculinity, Mansfield's Book of Manly Men, is filled with autobiography and journals of these men, so they left us a roadmap, generals and leaders and sports icons, because what they did was based on who they were. Doers do things, and men, you're wired to do things. And if I need a roadmap as a man, I need to look at other men who did things and say, how did they accomplish that? They're writing of those things down. So I encourage you to journal things like, whether if you're spiritual, journal your spiritual life down, journal your accomplishments down, in terms of your hobbies. If you're a fisherman, write down what lure or fly worked on what river, on what day, under what conditions. Or if you're a reloader, write your secret recipe down for that reload you're making. Another category of write stuff down is this: notes. Guys, that all-important holiday is coming up, Valentine's Day. And man, I don't care how big the bear is, how chocolatey the chocolate is, how rosy the roses are. She's looking at that note to see what you wrote down. She doesn't want you just to sign that thing that whatever Hallmark wrote down and you just slap Johnny Hancock on there. No, you need to think about something. See, one of the values of writing stuff down is sometimes, guys, it's hard for us to communicate verbally. One of the powers of writing stuff down is this: when you write stuff down, sometimes you'll be able to communicate things that you won't be able to do verbally, because you take time and you think and you write stuff out, and you're able to articulate your thoughts in a way that you might not be able to articulate just saying them off the cuff. Another important aspect of writing notes is, man, if you're in business or any form of leadership, writing down notes for your customers or those who you lead. You know, a mailed handwritten note is a big deal these days. You know, everybody gets email, everybody gets junk mail, everybody gets stuff that's typed. But in this day and age, if somebody takes the time to actually write stuff down, put a stamp on it, and mail it to you, that speaks of some massive customer service. Pull out a pen, pull out a paper, pull out a rock and a stick, carve it, whatever you've got to do, leave a roadmap for those who come behind you. You know, God forbid something ever happened to you, but what have you written down for your children? How are they going to know what their dad was like and who he was? I encourage you to write little notes to your kids from time to time. Write things down, write scriptures, write affirmations, things that you want to speak over your children. Men, write stuff down. Well, this is Man Stuff Monday, and this is Modern Mountain Man saying, God bless you. Go take your mountain.